Welcome to the Pantheon Parenthetical. My name is Lance Ash. I have always had a strong connection to my childhood. I've always felt that my childhood was the foundation of my present personality, character, situation. My memories of childhood have always been very strong. It's always surprised me to meet people, to talk to people who don't have a very clear picture of their childhood, don't remember things very well. However, after my surgery almost 2 years ago, these memories became even stronger. I began remembering things from 45 years ago, places, situations, and more than that, sensations in my daily life began to have mnemonic evocation of sensations from and places from far long ago. So connected with all this, I began looking about for hidden, or what you might call magical portals, doorways out of this current existence. This is related to when I was in third grade, specifically third grade, when I was about 7 years old. I remember being in class and fantasizing that I could escape through a door beneath my desk, through a tunnel that led out past the playground to some distant shore where I could get away to an island or something, and then come back. I must have been totally absorbed in my daydreaming. Well, I began looking about my room, and I found a door beneath the desk I have in my room. But upon looking into it, I saw that it was the bottom of a slide. I couldn't go up that way. So I turned to another childhood memory, which was of a method whereby you get into bed and you crawl down to underneath the blanket, to the bottom, to the foot of the bed, crawling further and further down until you discover a doorway or aperture at the bottom of the bed. And I did this, and I found I slipped through and slid down, and I popped out of a crack in a tree in the Valley of Pewing. And that is how I came to know the people who live there and know what goes on in the valley. Of course, when I got there, my first order of business was to make sure that I could get back, because I have things that I love here in the real world. So the people that I ran into in the valley had no idea. They said, "We will take you to see old Adams," and that's how I came to know Adams. And he said he knew of only one way in and out of the valley, and that was the pass high up in the mountains. But that would be no good to me, because it only led to the outside world surrounding the valley. He suggested that I try utilizing the same method that I got there by, and to make it as close to the original experience as possible. He said I could use one of the many abandoned dwellings in the valley they've had a severe decline in the population over the past decade. So they have many abandoned houses. And he said I could have my pick, so I chose one. No furniture, but one of the women in the valley let me borrow a children's sleeping bag, which was printed on the outside with scenes and characters from their version of The Empire Strikes Back, which is significantly and subtly different from our own. And after spending the day with the people in the valley, I went to my new little dwelling and got into the sleeping bag, and I clambered down to the bottom of the sleeping bag, and there at the back, at the bottom of the sleeping bag cavern, I slipped through a portal and slid down, and I came out through the door beneath the desk in my room, clutching a jar of obvious placebos of unknown utility, dried beans painted red. And that's the end of this episode, so thank you very much for listening.